Hey, it's Chuck Armstrong with Loudwire Nights, and this is Loudwire Nights on Demand. We caught up with Amy Lee from Evanescence all about their brand new song, Afterlife, and everything that's on the horizon. This first aired on Tuesday, March 25th. Enjoy. Hanging with us tonight is our very, very special guest, the voice behind, I would say, some of the most powerful songs of the last couple of decades, and the voice behind the brand new song, Afterlife. The founding frontwoman of Evanescence, Amy Lee. Amy, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for that intro. Nice to see you, Chuck.
Yeah, it's good to see you. So listen, right out of the gate, I just got to say huge congrats on the release of this new song. The first new music from Evanescence in 3 years, Afterlife. This came out last night, celebrating the upcoming release of the new animated series on Netflix for the video game Devil May Cry. How does it feel to have the song wrapped up, ready for the world to hear?
So good. So good. I've been dying for new music. We've been on the road consistently since The Bitter Truth came out, which was in 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you do well and you just keep having to do. Because like more stuff comes your way. And it's like, well, wow, okay, I'm not going to not tour with Muse. I'm like, well, okay, we're going to go do this other European tour. And then finally I was just like, okay, look, we have to create some new stuff. I can't do the same set anymore. I love it. We've changed it as much as we can, but we got to go. I have stuff to say. So we are happily, deeply in the creative process on the new album and a couple of other side things like this. I'm very excited about Afterlife. It was our first time to get back in the studio recording since The Bitter Truth. So super fun, super grateful for the opportunity. The show's killer too.
Awesome. I love hearing all this. So you mentioned a new album, but you also mentioned kind of side things like this song. So working on new music, but this song isn't necessarily part of the new album or anything like that.
Right. This is for Netflix, collab with Mako. He started the song and I was just super excited about it right away, stoked to get involved, and it kind of just snowballed into becoming an Evanescence thing. It's just, one of those things. We had like one more tour to go. So we were home for a couple of weeks and then back out on tour. And in those couple of weeks, we were in the studio recording and getting it going because we had a deadline. And then, back on tour, we were just listening to mixes from the road and ears ringing in the middle of the night from listening to it like 15 times. Just like the best thing in the world to have a new song that you're excited about.
I love that. I love hearing that. Yeah. I mean, it's exciting. Listen, it's exciting for you. It's exciting for fans too. I hope you feel that like, yeah, we're ready for new music too. So it's great to have this to celebrate.
Time for it. Yeah.
The more I listen to it, I'm really blown away by it. And I know that can sound like me just saying it, but seriously, it's a powerful track. And in a lot of ways, it kind of takes me back to the earlier days of Evanescence.
Cool.
Not so much in like a nostalgic way or anything like that. It just reminds me of the power that you and the band have had and the kind of emotions you can draw upon in your songs. Can you take us a little behind the scenes on Afterlife, like how this came to be and how this song took shape?
Sure. Well, I've worked with Alex Seaver of Mako before on this song I did with Lindsey Sterling during the pandemic. So she had a song that they were doing together and sent it to me. And, I made some vocals for it and it turned into this really cool song. And so we actually never met in person. We still haven't met in person. But he was doing some scoring for this new Netflix show for Devil May Cry. And he reached out to me and was like, hey, somebody mentioned you and I thought that was a great idea. What do you think about this thing I got started? And it was just that easy. It was a cool start. And I was like, why not? So I think originally we were talking about it just being like an Amy Lee thing. But I was like, this sounds like this could be an Evanescence track. Why don't we get the band in on this and like go for it all the way? And it just turned into something really special. We got in there with Nick and really, getting in there with him again. I don't know. There's just a lot inside us that's been dying to flood out. So being able to get in the room and really hammer it out and take the song all the way was cathartic, to say the least. And I love singing it. So I don't know. I'm glad that you like it so much. It's the show, being able to see the show definitely helps me thematically, to get inside like the heads of the characters and get into the emotion. I've always been really into that. Writing for film or for a character, for the emotion of something visual that's happening. It's also why I always, was so into going crazy with a music video.
Yeah.
The visual is a whole other dimension that can be a part of it. So just feel right at home in here, and we're on to the next thing. We got a lot of songs cooking right now. I'm very excited.
Well, you talk about it being cathartic, and no doubt it is, and cathartic for fans too to listen to this. Is it weird finding that catharsis and making new music when you're also kind of writing it with like a video game character or a show character in mind?
No, I think that we're all connected. Like there's always something that I can attach myself to. Or I'd be like, I can't connect myself to this character. I don't know what that would feel like, but I feel like just the human experience, there is something deep in there that we can get to a place and understand each other if we try. And there's plenty that I can relate to in a show. There's themes of disillusionment and, the guy that you think is the bad guy is maybe actually not the bad guy, just deep stuff and fighting, fight the power. Like right. I need it right now. So I'm just in all ways like feeling it. And music for me, it has always been, I've said it's like my therapy. It's the thing that I use, to turn the hardest parts of my life, the most difficult things on the inside, into something good, into something great, into something that I can love instead of being afraid of. So it always does that for me. I'm always going to pour my whole heart into it.
And that's it, man. That's the darkness or the frustration or whatever around us, to find glimpses of hope, glimpses of light, and to be able to do that in music for you as the writer, as the performer, but for me as the fan, as the guy listening to it. I love that connection that music gives us.
Cool.
You've mentioned the new album. You've mentioned new music a couple times now. What's on the horizon? Like, what's the timeline here?
I don't know. We have to talk about that because right now I feel like we have so many things. Like, okay, we need to organize and see like when everything's coming out so they don't all come out like the same month or something, because there's a lot.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I can't give all of it away because some of it's not new album stuff. It's other side things. But it won't be long.
Awesome. I love hearing that. Well, listen, we're talking about new music. I'm curious though, if you're the type of person who enjoys looking back. It's kind of crazy to think about, but last year marked the 30th anniversary of when you first formed Evanescence and started making music.
All right, okay.
Yeah. No, we're not there yet. But when you first started in 1994, I mean, are you the type of person who enjoys looking back, reflecting on things like that?
It depends on what you're looking back at. That's for sure. The 20th anniversary of Fallen coming out was in 2003.
Yeah.
So I spent a good amount of time in 2003 digging out ancient stuff, demos I hadn't listened to in forever since like recording Fallen, and actually video footage from when we first went on tour. We bought this camera that was like a good camera back then, which is like this huge, like piece of junk now. But just going through all those tapes and cartridges and remembering stuff I'd forgotten, it brought back some anger, and it brought back some just love. Just remembering everything, like life. Wow, there's so much. I can't sum it up in a quick interview, but do I like looking back? That's too vague. It's both. It's everything. It's everything all at once. But it was worth the trip. And you know what? It was inspiring for me because going through all of that to like make our anniversary edition with extra bonus junk. It kind of it reset me in a way to remember the good and the bad, and everything about it, and made me go over and write a song immediately about some of that journey that will be on our new album too. That, you can't, I don't think you can move forward without looking back. I think you have to remember where you've been in order to learn, in order to grow. So I'm into that. Yeah.
Right on. As busy as you are and as busy as you seem to stay, do you find it hard being in the moment and kind of recognizing like, oh, wait, we got all this stuff happening right now?
I think that is important I think that's a struggle for everybody probably. Living in the moment is hard, and it's not always about what you're doing. It's like what's in your head. And I think living in the moment means constantly having to recommit your mind. And this is important to me. You probably weren't bringing it up to be so deep, but
let's get deep.
I do it every day, and I have to remind myself not worrying about what's next, not constantly thinking about what might happen and I better be on top of this and that, or feeling stupid about some dumb thing I said yesterday. Don't don't let those things mess up this moment, because otherwise this will be the next moment that I'm looking back and going, man, I screwed that up. I wasn't, living in the moment. Dang it. I think that's something you have to constantly, and it's important. We need to live in the moment. We never know how long we have, this could be it. And you could have spent your last day on earth worried about, what you're going to do for dinner. So, yes, living in the moment, I that is important and good. And I think that that's something you get hopefully better with age, where you learn those things and go, yeah, this is good right now, or it's bad right now, or whatever it is. But like, I am here right now living my life. That's one thing we can control.
I love it. Well, let's look ahead.
Let's do.
Let's get out of this moment. No. But listen, you've talked about some of these massive tours you've been on. You mentioned Muse, and I got to catch a show on that tour, and it's just so much fun to see you on the stage and opening for Muse. You've got a pretty big year ahead of you, and among some other shows, you're hitting Australia with Metallica. I mean, that's got to be something you're counting down the days for.
It is. We've never been on a stadium tour. Like, I've played stadiums, but, for like a big festival or something.
Yeah.
Never a stadium tour. That definitely was like, okay, we made it. Little bit of a moment for the band. Like, all right, opening for Metallica, stadium, bucket list. There you go. Emma, our bass player, is from Australia, so she is particularly proud, and we're all very excited to do that. Metallica was definitely one of those formative inspirations back in the day, so that'll be a lot of fun for us.
I love it. Well, listen, last question, if you'll indulge me, with Ozzy's final show as a solo artist coming up, as well as the final show of the original Black Sabbath lineup. I know you're a fan. You've been known to cover Ozzy in the past. Can you talk a little bit about just what Ozzy or Black Sabbath, what they mean to you?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, another easy question. I know.
Phil, that's a forever band. That's just always going to be there. It's such a huge part of rock and roll. I mean, he's one of the people that pushed, the darkness, forward and made that cool, made that something that was possible and provocative, but happening and undeniable. That's what I think of first, the embracing of that darkness. Also a super sweet guy. And I'll believe it's a farewell tour when I see it, because I've heard that many, many, many times. And I just keep going and I just keep going and just keep going. So I'll probably be there too. So
fair enough, man. Amy Lee, thank you so much for hanging tonight. Congrats on this new song, Afterlife. We love it on Loudwire Nights. We'll be playing it for a long time, I know.
Thank you.
Listeners, catch up on everything in the world of Evanescence at evanescence.com. I cannot wait to see and hear all that's in store for you this year. And hopefully we can have you back on the show soon enough. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you. I'll be back then. Thanks for taking the time.
That wraps up this episode of Loudwire Nights on Demand. Stay caught up with everything happening in the world of rock and metal on the Loudwire app and at loudwire.com.